Hey guys, welcome to a new episode. It's the midweek WrestleSlam podcast, joined by myself, Jerry, and Phil Meltzer. Before we get into some news, I just want to say something. Phil, this week you had a movie premiere or screening in Blackpool. How did that go?
It's pretty good. It's really nice to see a sellout for local stuff. We did pretty much, I think it was 90% sold out, and even then the 10% probably had COVID and were sick. So it was so good to see everything on the big screen. It was great.
Excellent.
Great stuff.
That was a one and only screening of it, or is it? Are we expecting more of it?
They're hoping to have another one, but it'll be later in the year. Looks like end of summer, maybe September, October.
And what about the people watching here now? They're fans of the WrestleSlam podcast. They may want to go out and see that movie. Like, when can they expect to get it? Maybe on a dodgy link, or when will we find it on home screens?
I reckon in about a year's time it'll be online on YouTube.
What's the movie called for everybody looking for it? If you're out there and you want to go see it?
Bound to Work.
Bound to Work.
Yeah.
Check it out, guys.
Directed by Steve Brockhausen.
Check it out. Award-winning movie. Award-winning right here on the WrestleSlam podcast. No other podcasts have award-winning movie makers. Our own Phil Meltzer here has it. Yeah. We're going to go into some news this week. Some crazy news broke there in the last couple of days with the news that Nash Carter of MSK had been released by WWE. There's a lot of talk. We've been following, obviously myself and Phil have been watching it on Twitter. We've been following it online for the last week or so since the allegations broke, and then the images of Nash Carter come out there last couple of days, and obviously WWE have reacted to it and decided just to release him. So was this the right call to release him? With things are the way they are.
But the thing is, he got released for the image, not the abuse.
Yeah,
that's what I was reading. But I think all this started when she was released from Impact.
She's gone from Impact, is she?
Yeah, she's been gone since January, but she's denying. She'll clearly deny it, but she's gone.
Yeah, it's a messy one.
Yeah, I think when she got let go there, her whole life just seemed to fall apart, and then he now wants nothing to do with her. It's a messy situation for everyone, and I feel sorry for just everyone in it.
Yeah, there's been talk on it. I know Wesley's Mrs. or partner or wife, I'm not sure if they're married, come out and defended Nash and saying a lot of, she's had seemed to have a lot of evidence to prove that he wasn't abusive, and that she was kind of,
But I know in today's day and age, you just can't put out images like
it's very personal. It's very hard to we're not going to take sides here. We're not going to pick who's right and who's wrong, because we don't know. We're not involved in the situation. It's just sad that somebody had to lose their job, considering they just won the NXT titles.
Was it Meltzer who was saying there yesterday that he's surprised they won him because there was rumblings that he was going to be?
Yeah, that's what I'm surprised they won it in the first place. I thought the Creed brothers, anyway, going back to Stand and Deliver, I was 100% convinced the Creed brothers were the next spices. They seem to be, people are behind them, even though they're sort of a heel faction. They've got the audience behind them, and they're basically what WWE are looking for at the moment. They're young and they're big, and they've got that amateur background, and you can definitely work with them. I'm not sure why they didn't put the titles on them.
They'd be really cool with I know he never happened, but Brock Lesnar.
Exactly, or if they had a stable come up from NXT, like we're talking about, there is talks now of the call-ups from NXT, likes of LA Knight, Raquel Gonzalez, and now parts of Imperium, Walter or Gunther, whatever you want to call him, and not Fabian Eichner, Marcel Bartel. I'm not really sure why Fabian isn't going up with them. They seem to. I don't know why WWE would they bring up factions out of NXT and then just split them up. So
it's strange.
It's very strange.
Yeah,
they were they've been a great faction for the last couple of years. So
they did the same thing for Sanity, which almost was to kill them off. They were
they did that with Hit Row as well. They brought them up and then dropped Brianna, and then a week or two later the Hit Row were gone. So I'm on the edge, if Imperium or Gunther is going to work. Like, he's, we know how good Gunther is, or Walter is. We've seen him live in OTT, and we've, seen what he can do on the big stage. Like, it's just very strange, like, that he's
really
lost
weird.
all the weight.
It's really weird watching him, without all the weight.
He looks a completely different person. Like, he looks smaller, than some of the people he's gone up against. He went up against LA Knight, and LA Knight looked kind of bigger than him, even though he's not. LA Knight's more defined, more toned, and he's got a bigger.
The only thing is, like, he's not very what's the word, like, sociable and on the microphone.
Yeah, well, maybe if they get a manager, maybe the talk of LA Knight being the mouthpiece when he comes up to the main roster, maybe they will put him with Gunther. Maybe that may be something they might work with. I'm not sure.
Will he be released in 3 months' time? Who knows?
It's it's very hard. This time of the year, like, we just don't know. People are going to start getting released. You're worried, after WrestleMania last year, a lot of people got released. So I hope they don't do the same thing now that they're bringing people up and they're just dropping them in the water and seeing if they sink or swim.
Yeah, it's just, I find it very hard to think Gunther will do well under Vince. I don't know.
It's hard to know. We know how good he is, but he's basically Chop City. If Brock is Suplex City, Gunther is Chop City. Like, everybody's there to see him chop some person up, leave them red and destroy them with a powerbomb, and that's his matches. Like, there's a lot more to it, like, but that's what you want to see. You want to see him beat the shit out of someone, and it hurts because you can see their chest, and it makes it kind of real, like, when you see stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd love to see him fight Brock Lesnar at some point.
I hope so. I hope we get it. I hope he stays what he is now. I hope he doesn't lose much more weight. If he's putting on muscle, put on the muscle, but don't lose any more weight.
That was also just kind of speaking of, we'll just kind of segue into NXT and his kind of last match, I suppose. What did you make of the match? Because I thought it was going to end in DQ. I really did.
I was shocked it happened in the first place.
Yeah. Well, maybe because they want him gone. Maybe they knew he's gone.
Yeah, but fuck, that's a pay-per-view match. Like, it's not even advertised. Maybe, at least advertise it a week in advance. Like, have them have a face-off, and then next week we're going to have a title match. Viewership for NXT is shit as it is. Like, that could have brought in a lot of viewers having fucking that kind of caliber matchup.
Yeah, and the match was fine. Like, it wasn't great. It was good.
And it was what it was because it was unadvertised. There wasn't much hype behind it.
Yeah,
it's hard to get invested in something when it's like, what you just for us over in Ireland, like, when you if we don't get to see something live on, stay up to 4 o'clock in the morning to watch it live, you wake up the next morning and you see Braun Breaker versus Walter, and when you're reading the results and you start off with that starting the show, and then you're like, what? And then you read on, you get to the final, you're like, what? How did he? And then you go and watch it then, or even if you just watch it, in highlights or something, it's just like, how is this match not being on a pay-per-view?
And then the end of it then with the sports entertainment nonsense.
Well, it's like, how can Gunther be a segue to, Harland and Joe Gacy? Like, surely if he can beat Walter or Gunther, like, surely he can beat Joe Gacy. Like,
that's the problem. I know Vince, there's rumors that Vince was very high on Joe Gacy for a while. But I just don't see him as a main eventer.
And it's not that I don't see him as a main eventer. He can talk. He's got that Kevin Owens vibe about him. Like, you could really hate him, but he's comfortable enough to do that. He doesn't have to be a big guy. But it's just they haven't done him any justice at the minute. Like, they're not doing him anything. These promos are, give or take. Some of them are really bad. Some of them are really good. I'm not really sure what Harland's all about yet. I'm not sure what the point of him is. Like, he's just silent.
Yeah.
He's somebody who could benefit from a manager if he was just wrestling. Like, but Joe Gacy's there to put himself over, not to put Harland over.
What I heard is that Harland has no moves. He's very, very green.
Yeah, well, like, that's understandable. Don't put him on TV if he's green. Like,
yeah.
Keep him on the PC behind the cameras. Like, if he's not ready to be on TV, then we'll put him on TV.
Yeah. No, I agree. So on NXT as well, because we were talking about it off screen like the other day, but like Raquel and Dakota lost their belts again. Although this time they did have them a little longer than the last.
A little longer. They have 2 title reigns combined 4 days.
Yeah, did they have it for
That's
like
pretty bad.
minutes? They had it for like 20 minutes the first time.
I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, but you were saying that Raquel is moving up, so it's time.
Well, that's the rumor, she may be moving out, but
yeah,
they broke up. I don't know. They broke up Wendy Chu and Dakota. With their partnership was kind of growing on me, and then you just gave them the titles to them and took them off them again. It was like, why bother?
It was a weird.
Yeah. Some of the results from Stand Deliver, made no sense now at this stage. Like, Braun couldn't beat Dolph and then beat him on Raw.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
I don't know. I know what they were probably saying viewership. If they watch Raw, they'll probably tune into NXT. But come on.
Well, if they're going to watch Raw, advertise on Raw that fucking Gunther is going to face the winner of this match. Exactly. Give some stakes. The title's on the line, but they have to defend it the next night.
Exactly. There's been a lot happening though over the last few weeks, even the last few days. Like I know that we're probably burned out still from that WrestleMania because it was so long.
I'm still tired from it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wrestling. Like there was a lot. I'm still trying to watch some of the other like GCW stuff. I'm still watching bits of that online. Still trying to watch bits of the Impact show as well.
Yeah, there was the Multiverse. That was another one that I'm going to actually sit down and watch that tomorrow. Hopefully,
I actually watched Matt Cardona, Chelsea Green against Mickey James and Nick Aldis. That was actually pretty good. Like for a mixed tag match, was still pretty good.
Yeah, there was just so much shows. Like there's some wrestlers there that were wrestling like 3-4 matches a night. The other day, it was crazy.
Crazy.
You haven't seen the Multiverse, have you?
No, that's the only thing I've seen. I've just seen
there was something that happened on it that would be a match for Rebellion, but we won't say anything if you haven't seen it.
No, not yet. No, I haven't even read into it properly yet.
Yeah. I've seen bits. I've probably seen 3 matches on it. Just kind of staying there with Impact really quickly. The news coming out is the Briscoes have signed with Impact.
Yeah, I've seen something like that.
Interesting because I know Tony Khan wants to use them, but he can't use them.
They won't let them use them because of their history out. But if you dug deep into everybody on AEW's roster, I'm sure there's a lot worse done than what they did. Like
but I think their thing is like they were proper like against all that back in the day. It's just the way they grew up and it's their culture. It's not like you can't judge them today from what they were doing 30 years ago.
No, you can't. That's the problem with that cancel culture. That's the issue with cancel culture. Is like, it's from 20 years ago. That's who you are today, but it's not. Like, if you make a mistake, you make a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. Like,
exactly. But no, I was always wondering, all right, over the years, why these lads haven't moved on. Maybe that's the reason.
It seems to be the only reason, really. Like WWE obviously never wanted to work with them. Like
they never went near them. Like you would have thought, now they would have been a prime example for NXT when NXT was on the high when they were hiring all these.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I suppose moving on to AEW news, the Owen Hart Cup is still kicking off. We had some more.
It's not due to start. Well, the cup itself is until the 11th of May, isn't it?
The 11th of May, but I think it starts on the 11th or the 1st, one of those dates. The finals will be at Double or Nothing.
Yeah, that'll be something else.
And I actually think there should be more to it. There should be like winner fights the champion at All Out or something.
Yeah, they haven't announced anything like that, have they? It's just a cup. They haven't said
no.
There's no one where get a title choice, match of your choice or something.
Yeah, because this week we saw the Samoa Joe make his debut in what was a good squash match. Is the best way to put it.
Yeah, well, he has to squash somebody, like.
Yeah, and he brought back the Muscle Buster, which was nice.
Yeah, it's nice that he finished off with that. He never see that finish in a match for long. He never finished the match until
probably since your man broke his neck. Is it that TJ?
Oh yeah, what's his name? TJ Wilson.
TJ Wilson. Yeah. Tyson Kidd. Yeah. That was That wasn't sore one. I remember it.
Yeah.
But no, it was good to see Samoa Joe on it. It's just it's the same thing though. Like if they don't use him properly, do you know what I mean? Like Keith Lee has been is almost an afterthought.
I'm not sure what they're doing with the tag team here with
Swerve
Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. Like they've done that with a lot of people recently. They've just paired them up, and like the Hardys and Sting and Darby have been feuding with Andrade and the House for ages now, and this feud seems to be going on and on and on. And just going into that match with the Hardys and the Butcher and the Blade, like just the most confusing match I think I've ever seen.
It's do you know what it reminded me of? Something you'd see in WCW in 2000.
But it was just, I don't think anybody really knew what the rules were. Like
I thought once you were eliminated, you're gone to the back. I guess not.
The commentators seemed to make it that way, that Jeff Hardy was eliminated, so it's no DQ, so he can still stay at ringside, but he was eliminated, so he can't score the pinfall.
Yeah.
So he put the Blade through the table and scored the win. Like, so it didn't make any sense.
Happiness in it as well. There was moments where Matt Hardy went through the table, and they're like, he didn't go through the table.
He wasn't put into it. Yeah, it was just. I'm not sure who planned it or who produced it, or where they came up with the concept for it. Like, because I've seen a couple of tag team table matches, and once one of them goes through the table, that's it. Like, sure, it would have been easier just to say, when the two people from the one team go through the table, that's it. Like,
I think Royal Rumble 2000 was the only other one I remember.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. Like, that's one of the only ones I remember. Maybe there was one or two other ones in between, but like,
it wasn't that messy though.
Matt Hardy I don't know what it is. He's trying to be something that he was 20 years ago.
That's what they're trying to bring back the nostalgia.
He even had on the top that he wore when he was in the New Brews.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's very strange.
And plus as well, Darby Allin is suffering big time on this thing.
Yeah, all the legends he's with, like.
Yeah, he's just such like an afterthought. It's really sad because that man.
But I don't see an end goal to this. Like, Andrade beating Darby, the Hardys have beaten the tag team, the Private Party and the Butcher and the Blade. What's to come of this? Like, is Sting going to get Andrade in a singles match? Is that what they're leading to? Like,
either that or they just want the three-way belts and they want teams.
Yeah, but again, like, this feud can't keep going on. Like, it's gone on long enough. Like, and I rip WWE for this all the time.
Yeah.
The feuds go on way, way too long, and you get sick of them after a while. This is one of the feuds that I started getting sick of in AEW, and it's been, I haven't got really sick of any feuds in AEW recently. Like,
it does seem like the only way out of this is to turn Darby Allin heel on Sting, to get his heat back. Get something. You need to get something going for him because he's just.
I can't see Darby Allin being a fucking heel.
And him as well. And Sammy Guevara as well is another one. Sammy Guevara just.
Well, Sammy and Tay Conti have suffered the couples curse in wrestling. If you're a couple in wrestling and you go on TV together, you're fucked. It happened with Seth and Becky when they teamed up.
The only good one was Edge and Lisa. Yeah,
well, like, that was different because what happened between them, like, with Matt Hardy and stuff and all the stuff. But when you declare your love for your partner on TV, like, it's.
Well, the picture in the bed was cringe, like.
Yeah, that was a bit of harm, like, but ever since then, it's they've been flaunting online, and AEW fans are turning on Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti.
Yeah.
Like, they were so popular.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago.
I know, yeah.
But they turned on them last night. They had no interest in them last night. They didn't give a fuck about them.
Yeah.
Which is strange. Like, this is like kind of Cody and Brandy heat. Now they're going to end up getting.
Yeah, and that's not good. Yeah, it's not good. And as well, they're stuck in this stupid feud with Dan Lambert as well.
Again, another feud that's been going on too long.
Yeah, it's almost like they don't know how to end it and they can't get out of things. It's really
the way it seems like they want to end it with giving Sammy back the title again, another title run. The thing about AEW when it started off and they were leading with the whole, their win records. Like, once you lost your title, like you didn't get a rematch. Somebody else. Now everybody's getting rematches for titles.
Yeah,
The win percentage doesn't seem to matter anymore. Like, we'll talk about it later on. But Adam Cole obviously is having his match with Hangman Adam Page next week on Rampage live in a Texas Death Match, which should be epic. Which Adam Cole should win. I hope he wins it. Yeah. He's definitely going to be. But again, Adam Cole lost his title match, and he got a rematch straight after. Hangman Adam Page has had 3 title defenses since November. And here we are, April, and then double nothings next month.
Thing is, like, that's what I was saying. Like, I reckon that CM Punk will be in that title match at Double or the paper.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so. But does he win it? Is
it a 3-way? I don't know. It could very well be.
Could be. It could well be.
And then you have Red Dragon versus my buddies.
I think Red Dragon's going to win that too. I think
is that Rampage?
That's Dynamite next week.
Okay. I think they'll win this time.
I think they should.
It looks like a Christian heel turn might be coming.
He needs to do something different.
Yeah, he looked really frustrated there now.
Yeah, we haven't had a good Christian fucking bitch fit in a long time, where he used to fucking jump around the bottom of the ring, like, when he get Diamond Dallas Page at WrestleMania when he lost to him. That's the kind of Christian we need back. Christian was a better heel than a face.
But just on AEW there, there's definitely something going on, because a lot of people kind of not falling out with Tony Khan, but they're sort of easing back towards him, like they weren't like that at the start. Because Bischoff was very open about his
contracts coming up now. The 3 years is coming up in May. A lot of people's contracts are going to come up, and a lot of people aren't being used. They brought in a lot of talent. Delighted. Bring as many people in as you want. People need a job. Give them a fucking job. But you still have to look after the talent that's been there from the start as well. So if they're going to be kept on, they need to do something.
I wonder, is that part of the Cody Rhodes, like, does he actually get tired of it?
It's hard to know, because at the start they would have, I know they said they didn't have creative control, but they would have had more say on things at the start, because the roster wouldn't have been as big.
Yeah.
The bigger the roster, the bigger the wage bill.
Yeah.
Eventually they're going to have to start cutting costs, and they are, like they've mentioned it. Per Marco Stunt, he was released because of budget cuts. So
there'll be a few more now, like Sonny Kiss and a few others coming up.
Yeah, well, you don't want anybody to lose their job either, like, but they are going to have to start making cuts. These wages are going to keep going up. Like, I can imagine like CM Punk and Bryan Danielson are on big bucks there, and some more of those probably on big bucks as well.
John Moxley's new contract is going to be more money than what he's on now. So,
well, I don't know what he was on. Like, it was a couple of million anyway a year.
Yeah, he'll be on. His one is up in May as well. So,
do you think he would ever go back to WWE?
Not with this thing going on. I don't think he'd leave a storyline high and dry. I just don't think he's that kind of guy. If there was nothing going on for him, I definitely would think he would have went back. But now they've started this whole Blackpool club. I don't think so.
Club, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not now anyway. But I do think eventually he'd go back, because he wants the last contract to be the most money he'll make. And I think not this contract, but the one after that is his last contract.
With who, though? That's
the thing. It's the same as everyone else. Like, people are saying MJF's going to leave. I don't think he is. I don't
know. Like, if Adam Cole beats Hangman Adam Page and CM Punk's next in line, at what stage does MJF ever get a title match?
That's the thing. Like, should MJF be the guy then to beat CM Punk? That's the other side of it.
What happens with him and Wardlow, though? Sure, they're not going to beat Wardlow again.
Yeah, it's like I've mentioned this loads of times that MJF keeps losing the big matches. It's almost Bray Wyatt-ish now at this stage.
He's never had a title yet. He's never, in the 3 years of AEW.
Yeah,
it's strange. Like, of all the people in there, like, he's the one that's never had a title. The 4 pillars. They've all had their go off it. Like, I can't believe that they've never given him even the TNT title.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even TNT title.
Just to flaunt it. He's beyond that at this stage, though.
Is he very vocal backstage? I don't know.
I'd say the rumors of him falling out with Tony Khan or wanting more money or something is probably true. Because his contract, it's not coming up until next year or the year after. I'm not sure.
What do you reckon what do you reckon he makes? 500 a year or what? Or less?
It's hard to know. It's very hard to know.
He signed the contract when he was 21 years old.
Yeah.
So you got to think of that way too. I suppose I'd be pissed off if Daniel Bryan was getting $3 million a year and I was stuck on $500,000.
Well, like they've all paid their dues,
Oh yeah, I know, but
he's still pretty young. But there is money out there for him if he wants it. Like I know WWE would definitely dangle the carrot in front of him and offer him big bucks to come over. Like I said last week, he's the perfect age. He's exactly what they're looking for at the moment.
Yeah.
He's 24, 25 years old and he's the future. And, he can talk and that's exactly what you need in WWE.
And also he can also stand up to Vince if he thinks something's shit as well.
He stand up to the producers backstage,
Yeah. So I suppose go on sticking with AEW. That main event though was class.
Oh,
FTR and
outstanding.
And Young Bucks. Like I couldn't believe the reaction. It must be over that match they had at the weekend, but I haven't seen an FTR chant I don't think I've ever seen it in AEW.
Yeah, they were teasing it for the last few weeks, like with MGF, when they sided with them, and eventually, FTR definitely should be a face team going forward. Oh, yeah. Whether they break away from the Pinnacle or not, I'm not sure what happens there. Yeah, but it is definitely something they need to push. Whether
Tony Khan is stupid enough to not turn them heel, hopefully.
They can't turn him heel after last night. There's no way they could turn him heel after that.
That's what I mean.
They're Adam Cole is heel, but he's not heel. FTR, shouldn't be that way. They should be just face, play up to the crowd and just be faces.
Exactly.
They're very, I can't remember them being proper faces in WWE when they were there. I don't remember.
Maybe they were as the mechanics, but
very, very brief period.
That was a very brief period. Yeah,
very brief.
Also, as well, I don't know if Brett's going to come in. I honestly thought Brett was coming, but I don't know now at the moment.
They still might. There was they have to turn them face first. There was no way Brett was going to come in as a heel manager. Nobody was going to do Bret Hart.
That's true.
They are the best tag team at the minute in the AEW, which is crazy that there's so many good tag teams there. And FTR, when they come in, they had that brief feud with the Bucks, and then they went heel, and they didn't really do much with them. They put them in the Pinnacle, and they were kind of supporting players to MGF. But now that they're they're on their own, kind of shining, they should let them shine on their own. I could see maybe Red Dragon, FTR, and maybe the Bucks in a three-way, a double or nothing. Might be something. Yeah, maybe a fatal four-way if the Hardy Boys get thrown into it. It might be something to look into.
They'll probably do a TLC match if they're involved.
Well, double or nothing is, you know how good the last couple of double or nothings have been. So that kind of match would be fucking epic.
Yeah, no, I really would. I just don't want the Hardys to ever win again. But yeah, I suppose
it's going to happen.
Then we have Cody Rhodes news. Just reading there that he's going to be on SmackDown.
Yeah,
which is interesting because I think they missed a big trick on Raw by not having him come out at the end.
Yeah, it was strange that they started off with him. I know they wanted to, build off the hype, but
yeah,
they should have closed the show with him. It would have been.
But he should have came out, and even if he didn't really say much, he should have confronted Reigns at least because he's going for the belt. I just hope straight away. I'm really hoping that WWE don't have Austin Theory win the case, and then beat Cody after Cody wins the belt. I don't want that story. I've seen it. I don't want to see it anymore.
I don't know. I don't know if it's too soon for Cody to be challenging Roman though. He's on SmackDown.
Oh yeah, I know. Maybe. Yeah, but they'll introduce a new belt, won't they? On the other brands.
There's talk of one for Raw, but
yeah,
I can't see Roman being on both shows every week, so they're going to have to do something.
Yeah. So, but what did you think of his promo actually on Raw, Cody Rhodes?
Yeah, it was touching.
Yeah, I know. I love the story that he's going after the belt because his dad never won it. That's
a way of getting people behind you.
Yeah, it's just he can't win it in the next 6 months. I think I think WrestleMania is where he wins it.
Really?
Well, a Royal Rumble win for Cody Rhodes would be fucking epic.
You know,
Like if he
it's a long
decides,
way.
like I want to be the best in the world, I'm going to beat everyone for the next 6 months.
But if they introduce a new title on Raw, shouldn't he be the one to win it?
Yeah, there you go. Like that's another thing. Like the thing is, what they're going to call it is another question.
Just to fucking just bring back the big gold belt, or the belt that actually Dusty was holding. If they brought something
I
similar
love
to
that. Yeah, I'd love that. That would be epic.
That's what he's saying. They kind of hinted at, that's the one, that's the belt that his dad never won. He wanted the, whatever reincarnation of that belt they have.
It'd be epic if they did that. I'd love that.
But it'd have to be a big show. Like it can't be just
SummerSlam.
Backlash. Yeah.
Yeah. But I have a feeling Austin Theory is going to win Money in the Bank.
Very possible. Very possible.
He beat Finn Balor again on Raw, which is he finished, Finn, do you reckon?
I have no idea what the fuck they're doing with them. I was the same with Ricochet. They both of them, like, they were giving the belts and everybody's like, yes, they're getting behind them, and they keep losing.
Yes, yeah.
That's the third week in a row that he's pinned Finn Balor.
Exactly, yeah, and they're clean wins as well. They're not cheating or anything.
I know, and normally in WWE, if you beat a champion, like, you get a title match the next week. So like he's beaten him a few times. He beat him actually during the year as well when he wasn't champion, and then Finn won the title and beat him his traction because of, I can't remember, Damien Priest or Pat McAfee helped him win it that time.
And then you WrestleMania Backlash coming up. I wonder. I don't know. It's hard to know. I just really hope that Cody Rhodes is not in the title match on it.
Well, it depends. It depends what happens on SmackDown, really. Like, if they're going to announce a new title, maybe they'll announce it on SmackDown. Maybe it'll be for SmackDown, and Roman will end up on you. I can't imagine he'll be on Raw, though. I can't see him.
No, I can't see it either. I really can't see it. And then just Seth Rollins, who's fucking stealing the show lately, did an interview with, who did he do an interview with? Was it Pro Wrestling Illustrated or someone like that?
Yeah.
He was basically saying, well, we all say Raw is too long and it's too drawn.
Yeah,
it's a good interview. I like the honesty of Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins is probably their best right now. He's that good.
No, he's on another level at the moment. Like, again, he was the perfect opponent for Cody. Like, they elevate Cody straight up into the main picture.
He'd probably fight him again at WrestleMania Backlash.
I could imagine it will be like a number one contenders match or something. Like,
you would think so, yeah.
But there's talk then that Drew McIntyre and Roman are going to be, they're on advertised for house shows now for the next few weeks. So whether they're going to get Drew's the number one face, he's the main face on SmackDown. So, logically he's the next person they face Roman, which means he's going to lose to Roman for the next probably 2 or 3 pay-per-views until we get the Money in the Bank or SummerSlam.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what have we got? We've got Backlash in a couple of weeks' time. I don't know what else is coming up. I know there's 2 pay-per-views.
Money in the Bank as well, yeah. Money in the Bank.
SummerSlam is the end of July.
Yeah.
And then we've got Saudi Arabia show in August, maybe, or September.
And there's a UK one rumored for early September.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but like.
Do you think if there's going to be a UK show that Drew McIntyre might be champion going into a UK show?
He could, but they could also do Tyson Fury on him.
Oh no! Why did you put that into the ether?
I don't know. I just think they could do that as well. I really do.
Oh man, they tried. Oh no, they done that with him and Braun Strowman, and it just.
That wasn't good at all.
I don't know. Like that, those they didn't want to beat Braun Strowman in that match, and they beat him by a count out.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre, doesn't need to be losing to Tyson Fury, but they're not going to have Tyson Fury lose either. So, they keep booking themselves in their corner, them kind of shit.
They do indeed.
If Drew was a heel, maybe, losing to Tyson Fury might be better. But Drew as a face shouldn't be losing to Tyson Fury.
I suppose there's 2 other bits of things that I wanted to say before we kind of go. This Ezekiel thing is a load of nonsense.
Are you really Phil Connolly? You cut your hair,
Beard,
shaved.
no beard, yeah.
Are you the same person? Are you an evil twin?
I say if
I
it's
know what happens whenever I shave my beard. I look like 12-year-old, so that won't be happening anytime soon.
I don't know what the end goal of this is either. That's another one.
Maybe him and Elias will face the Logan and Jake Paul in a brother versus brother match.
They'd have to, if they'd done a cinematic match, they'd get away with it, you know.
Yeah, they could too. But you'll never see them in the same room together. That's the problem. It's
And you
kind of
can
like
if you do a cinematic match, there's camera tricks. You
yeah.
But yeah, it's just Kevin Owens. Like, why come off the hottest thing that's night one to do this? It's just baffling. I don't understand it at all.
We'll never understand Vince's thinking.
Yeah, but even like
Vince put himself in a match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, Pat looked awful. I rewatched it again. I rewatched it again, and Pat was just like autopilot. He was just falling and getting up and falling. It was just, and the thing is, like Pat and Austin Theory was genuinely great.
Yeah, Pat had a great match.
Like Austin should have came up before the other match started.
I know it should never have been a match, but I don't know why. I don't know whose idea it was or why they decided to have Vince and Pat McAfee in a match. It just didn't make any sense.
There was a couple of weird booking choices, all right, and then you had the Bobby Lashley stuff. I just don't know what that is about either.
Yeah, like again, there we go. It's just WWE 50-50 book, and Bobby beats him, and then the next night on Raw, MVP turns on Bobby and sides with Omos. It's just like, why?
Yeah, exactly.
So this is obviously going to go on. This will be a backlash match.
Yeah, I would think so. You would
Absolutely.
think so.
And Omos will probably go over on him now that he's got
this time. Yeah.
They'll probably fucking put the Hurt Business with Omos now. Like two boys will probably end up, and that'll be the new Hurt Business.
Yeah, why be they be like the
obviously tried them loads of times.
Yeah, it's just some of their just booking decisions are bizarre, and I don't know what they would do.
I like Bobby as a face though. I think he could be.
I do too, but he's been face and heel no more times than Big Show in the last few months anyway.
Well, if you look at the Raw roster for baby faces, you got Bobby, you got Cody, Seth and Cody shook hands, like, is Seth going to go face?
Yeah,
you got Kevin Owens as the heel there. Like, you've got a good 4 or 5 people as main eventers there for Raw for a title feud should they actually get a belt.
Yeah.
So hopefully there's something there, in the pipeline for it.
Plus the other thing then as well, as I was reading that Logan Paul is wanted by Vince full time.
Yeah.
I like
more for revenue.
What was that?
More for revenue, like, he can work, like, but I'm sure he's not going to work a full-time schedule, but definitely bring him in for like Saudi Arabia shows and one-off pay-per-views and stuff.
Yeah,
why not?
He looked really good at WrestleMania in his
Yeah, I was actually comparing it. It took me a couple of days to watch it over again, like, but I was watching it and comparing it to the Bad Bunny one. Like the Bad Bunny, everybody praised Bad Bunny. It was a great match. He done a lot of spots. He looked like a celebrity who learned how to do a couple of spots. Logan Paul looked like somebody who knew what they were doing. Like, he looked comfortable doing it. So
that's it.
He's got I don't know how many millions of followers. People tune in just to watch him. It's not a bad move to keep him around. And his brother will probably end up joining him.
But apparently, I was reading there as well that it was in the contract that he has to turn babyface.
Maybe he's just got to change his image a bit. People have been fucking hating the brothers for a long time.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. But I think we've covered everything there now from all the news during the week. And
yeah, other than there's also talk of Lacey Evans maybe back on SmackDown as well.
That's an interesting one.
It's good to see her back. The SmackDown after WrestleMania seems to be the new Raw after WrestleMania. There's going to be a lot of debuts on SmackDown if Walter or Gunther or Imperium show up, or LA Knight, or maybe Raquel Gonzalez, they're talking that they'll all show up in SmackDown at some stage, so maybe they'll all be there on Friday night.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that they just need to change their booking, the way they book women, especially like the ones that are not in title matches.
Yeah.
it's almost like you can't be strong because you're not fighting for a belt, and if you're not fighting for a belt, you can't. People won't. It's just
They don't.
it's
They don't
all
know how to. they just don't know how to. It's not just the women, the men. Like other than a big feud that you've never seen before, like Edge and AJ Styles. Like they didn't know how to book other matches. Like you're booking, Drew McIntyre and Corbin. Like nobody gave a fuck about that. There was no belt. There was no feud. To say that the winner's going to get a title match or anything. There was nothing, and nobody really cared about it.
Yeah,
it was all over a fucking sword.
Yeah, it's just we'll see now what happens. I'd be interested to see what happens on SmackDown.
Should be good.
Yeah, it has promise. Like you still have Asuka and Bailey to come back at some point.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't show up at WrestleMania. To be honest, I think Bailey's ready to go. Apart, she's been ready to go since February, from what I heard.
She cut her hair recently, so she's going back to that.
She what?
She cut her hair recently.
She cut her hair. I thought she was fucking after growing up. She's going back to fucking.
She did. Body. She did, but she cut it back for that heel thing that she was doing. So
we're never getting the Billy hugger section again, are we?
I think you will, but I think it'll be a way down the line. But you know what, like Bailey there now, like my brother on about her. She's come a long way, and I think the pandemic helped her.
The pandemic without fans definitely helped her.
Yeah.
The Thunderdome definitely helped her.
I feel bad for her though, because she's missed 2 Manias now.
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah. Hopefully now the next time that'll come. I reckon next year's WrestleMania they're going to do that 4-way with the 4 of them.
They'll have to keep them separate from Bianca Belair. So
that's what I mean, like they'll do that 4-way and then they'll do Bianca and someone else. Because I was honestly to God thinking Ronda's going to do that match, but not after the drama recently.
Yeah, I don't know how long Ronda will be around for. She's only booked up until June or July. She's not even booked.
I don't think she's come back. I think you could tell that she's not happy at all. Not just with that, but in general. Like even she just looks bored, and I don't know.
She's a fan, like, but she's not she's a mixed martial artist. She's a judo champion, whatever. She's done everything outside of WWE, and it's she's brilliant at it. I know she's a fan of WWE, and she was a fan of wrestling growing up, like, but
yeah,
there's a difference between being a fan, and an athlete than a wrestler. She's not a wrestler, like.
Yeah,
she can't sell. She's great on the mic. She needs a mouthpiece. I know Paul Heyman came out. She was asked a question there during the week, if Roman Reigns was gone for a year, like, shooting a movie, or he wasn't around for a year, like what you would do. And he was like, he would manage Ronda Rousey.
Yeah,
Paul Heyman, like, would be perfect for her. Like, she needs to be a heel.
But she's got so much bad press in the last few weeks.
But again, like, she's getting bad press. She needs to, that's what they need to build up on. Use that bad press.
Oh yeah, but even the UFC people are calling her disgrace. Like there's a few former fighters called her like worthless and kind of. She's just, I don't know. I don't think she's a team player. Like if something goes her wrong for her, she kind of blames everyone else, but never blames herself.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's nice when they're on top.
Yeah.
They lose. Everybody's nice until they lose their first match.
But I reckon, though, we've talked about this. I reckon she was told on the week of that she wasn't last.
I'd say they were told the day off WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think once they knew Austin was going to have a match, Austin was last.
Yeah, that was always going to happen. Nobody's bigger than Steve Austin. Like,
no, not at all.
If WrestleMania was only one night, and Roman Reigns was facing Brock Lesnar, and Steve Austin was facing Kevin Owens, Steve Austin and Kevin Owens would have still main evented that night.
I think so. I agree with you, 100%.
Absolutely. You don't have Stone Cold in a match on your show without closing it.
Yeah, it's
people would have left. So people would have got up. Like if Ronda and Charlotte had been the main event, and Stone Cold and Kevin Owens were on before them,
I think people would have left. Yeah, you're right.
People would have got up and left.
Yeah.
Yeah. That big Texas crowd, they came to see Steve Austin. Like.
Yeah. Exactly. 200%. So yeah, I think we've pretty much gone through everything, but we should be back.
We look forward to Rampage now. I know we kind of know what happened, but we're not going to spoil it.
This week's Rampage looks stellar. The matches are quality.
Yeah. Next week's Rampage, then obviously Tony Khan's going to hype it up again. He's trying to. It's a live show. So.
Wheeler Yuta has really grown on me in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's the type of person now that needs to be in that Blackpool Combat Club. Like that's what they were looking for when they started it. They want.
I love the fact that he's walking around with that belt. That's great.
Yeah. Love it. Yeah, he's got something. He's got something. Hopefully they use it
properly. One last thing there before we go. Are we going to see Sanjay Dutt come back to the wrestle?
Maybe he'll be getting squashed wrestling. I don't think he'll be in a match. Maybe Samoa Joe will just destroy him. We're obviously going to get Samoa Joe and Jay Lethal in a match at some stage.
That's good. Jay Lethal deserves so much better. He's another guy that completely lost.
He should be. He's good at the heel. He's better off as a heel though.
Yeah. So we'll be back on, I suppose, Monday, Tuesday.
Well, Monday recording will be going out Tuesday night. Well, actually, to let you know, lads, this Monday show, which will be recorded Monday, which was Tuesday, will be joined. This is a surprise now, Phil. I don't think you know this yet. By Billy Bedlam and Steve fucking Savage.
Nice.
Who will be on talking about their show on Good Friday in Cork. Brilliant. So if you haven't already gotten tickets to the show, tickets are available on Eventbrite.
They're actually going really fast as well. So
they're nearly all gone. We have we have a pair of tickets to give away. So go on to our YouTube channel. If you haven't already subscribe now. Leave a comment on this video to say you're interested, and we'll announce a winner on Monday's show with Steve and Billy. And we're also going to be hosting an after party after the show on Good Friday in the Macau Casino. We'll announce the proper event. We'll announce the details on Monday evening as well when Steve and Billy are with us. So stay tuned, lads, for that show, and stay tuned then for next week as well. We look forward to it.
That'd be great. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great one. The last one was a banger of a show.
Yeah, going to be epic. So if you're in the Cork area on Good Friday, you're looking to do something, bring your own booze, bring a bag of cans, come down to the Circus Factory, drink the shit out of it, come join us in the Macau Casino later on for an after show party with some of the wrestlers from Phoenix. Who knows who you might bump into?
Big demo.
Maybe. We'll leave it there, lads. We won't spoil anything.
Yeah. Cheers.
Grant, from myself, Jerry, from Phil Meltzer, the award-winning Phil Meltzer, we'll talk to you again Monday. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.